Before I get started with this daily financial news, I want to say, yes, that is an iceberg over my shoulder. Right there. It actually looks pretty small on the camera, but I'd say that's a couple of semi-trucks, that iceberg right there. But anyways, we are in Greenland. Let's get into daily financial news. Let's start with the 9 most terrifying words you will ever hear. And this is from Ronald Reagan, August 12th, 1986. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. The reason I felt compelled to research this quote is, again, I think there's a lot of things going on in this presidential election. There's a lot of things that will impact generations to come. And there's just a lot of things about I'm from the government and I'm here to help that should frankly terrify all of us. This notion of free money, promises of free money, it is never free. Folks, anytime you hear about student debt relief, free money for first-time home buyers, it's never free. It is put on the backs of the U.S. taxpayers. It's just the way it is. I wish more and more folks understood that. Also realize that once the government enacts a tax strategy that only impacts the wealth of the wealthy, I want you to realize that that was the same promise made in, I think it was 1913, when they enacted the first income tax. The first income tax, again, was only meant to hit the top 1%. I ask you, are you paying taxes today? I know I am. So again, Ronald Reagan, August 12th, 1986, the most dangerous words. I am from the government and I'm here to help. Alrighty, folks, let's talk about some earnings, then we will get into some real estate. We did get Nordstrom's. Sorry, got a couple pages of notes here. Nordstrom's beat earnings, missed revenue, also gave weak guidance as softening demand for luxury goods. Again, folks, as we talked about Nordstrom's, I think what's happening in the economy is called trade down. Economists would call this the trade down cycle. So Nordstrom's to Macy's, Macy's to Target, Target to Walmart, Walmart to Dollar Tree, Dollar General. That's just what is going on. And it just feels like that's where we are in the economy. How about Abercrombie and Fitch? Abercrombie and Fitch blew it away, beat top line revenue, beat bottom line earnings. But the CEO said, and I quote, increasingly uncertain environment. The macro environment is uncertain. What does that mean? Folks, as we've been talking about for at least a month now, the second half of 2024 is going to be slower. The average consumer is not in a good place, both financially and emotionally. And there's going to be a lot less spending, a lot less investing, a lot more people just waiting until after the election when we can take a breath. Although we did get consumer confidence yesterday, which once again beat expectations. Expectations were for 100.7, came in at 103.3. So a pretty significant beat. What does this mean? I think it's the classic situation where you as an individual feel good about your situation, but maybe you don't feel good about others. I think that's often something you see in economic surveys. Talk about mortgages. We did get the update on mortgages. Could you believe that refi demand is up 85% year on year? Yes, folks, 85%. We called it here on this channel over 6 weeks ago that we were going to have a refi boom. And we were right, and it still happening. Purchase apps up 1% year on year, or 1% week on week, down 9% year on year. Again, folks, back to my earlier comment, the consumer is not in a good space, both a good headspace and a good financial space. So even with lower interest rates, which are now 6.44, they are not signing up for their mortgages. As I've said, I expect transactions to be below 4 million for several months to come. What else do we got? How about Jay Parsons talking about build for rent? Did you know that of active construction today, 6% is build to rent? The three most common cities: Phoenix, Dallas, and Atlanta. California dream for all. Our King Gavin Newsom is struck again, folks. King Gavin Newsom has said undocumented immigrants can apply for the California Dream for All, which, if you don't remember what that is, that's essentially $150,000, up to $150,000 for down payment assistance. Yes, folks, and undocumented immigrants in California can apply for California Dream for All. Let's close out with Case-Shiller. Home prices, again, up 5.4% year on year. Never forget with Case-Shiller, this data is old. This is 2 months old. New York, shockingly, New York's up 9%. San Diego up 8.7%. And Las Vegas is up 8.5%. The smallest gain of all the top 20 was Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon up only 0.8%. Something about the New York real estate market, which is interesting, and we've been calling it out on this channel, is the lower end, right? The first time or entry level is on fire. In New York, the lowest tier of housing is up 20%. Folks, 20%. That is the bifurcated market. And then the last thing to talk about, we talk about on this channel all the time, is the difference between real and nominal. Real and nominal. So let's give you another example. From 1974, nominal home price appreciation, 1,100%. If you want to figure out what this looks like, take the home price that you paid for your house, times it by 11. That's what had happened in 40 years, or 50 years, excuse me, 50 years. Again, times it by 11. That is nominal. What is real? So if you back out inflation, homes in the last 50 years are up 111%, essentially a double. So again, with inflation is called nominal, adjusted for inflation is called real. Again, 1,100 versus 111%. At the end of the day, folks, we have NVIDIA earnings. It is often said that NVIDIA is the most important company with the most important earnings in just a few hours. Dan Bird has promised to release a midweek update. Dan did not do a Sunday video this week because he was out enjoying time with family, but we did communicate, and he said he would record one after NVIDIA earnings, so look for that this evening. Folks, that is the daily financial news from Greenland. Funny thing, Iceland is green, Greenland is white. It's really wild. And yes, again, that is an iceberg, just ever so slowly scooting by. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.